Okay, here I am again, and tonight's topic is It's Easy to Keep Bees by James Hare, and it's from Organic Gardening, January 1961. This article is for two sizable groups of people. One, those who want to keep bees but are afraid of stings, and two, those who would like to have ample supplies of fresh, unheated honey, but who regard beekeeping as a mysterious and complicated affair. I can't make a full-fledged beekeeper out of you in one easy lesson, but I think I can show you that fear of bees is unnecessary because you can avoid all but an occasional sting, and you soon become relatively immune to the stings you can't avoid. As for the amount of work and learning necessary to keep bees, anyone who is not actually allergic to bee stings in the medical meaning of that term can be successful, even if for some reason you can't lift a shallow super full of honey, which, well, I guess that's what they usually contain it in, which weighs about 35 pounds. You can always take out the individual frames, which weigh only 3 or 4 pounds each. Most will agree that honey has a place in the diet, especially if there are children in the family. Honey completely satisfies the children's sweet tooth, so they aren't tempted to indulge in soft drinks, candy, and all the other abominations by which today's children are robbed of their appetite for wholesome foods. From the personal experience of my own family of 6, I can vouch for the fact that eating unlimited amounts of honey does not cause dental cavities if the remainder of the diet is reasonably wholesome and if plenty of calcium in one form or another is included. Every 6 months when I take my children to the dentist for a checkup, he remarks on what sound teeth they have. We have been eating unlimited amounts of honey for several years. It is almost our only sweet. We use it for cereal, baking, freezing, canning, and just plain eating. I started to keep bees because I was convinced that white sugar was causing a lot of damage to the teeth and general health of myself and my family. I bought a modest beginner's outfit and ordered a package of bees and a queen. I now keep from 4 to 6 hives, enough for honey for my family's needs, plus a few gallons to give to friends, relatives, and neighbors. If I had time to take care of a few extra hives, I could easily sell the surplus. People who see my hives often inquire if I have honey for sale. As an organic homesteader, I have literally dozens of projects underway at the same time, all on a sundown and weekend basis. My bees have pretty much taken care of themselves. Whether this is good or bad for the honey production is a moot point. I know of at least 2 bee experts who say that the best system of beekeeping is the one that leaves the bees alone as much as possible. I average less than an hour a week with my bees during the summer, and of course bees need almost no care in winter. However, I do care for my bees regularly. They won't thrive on total neglect. It is natural to fear bee stings. I think everyone does when he starts beekeeping. I know I did, but I wanted the honey more than I feared the stings. Just remember that the first few stings are the hardest to take, and that if you persevere, you will normally build up an immunity to bee venom. You won't mind subsequent stings nearly so much. I now find mosquito bites more irritating than bee stings. Stings can largely be avoided by 1, dressing carefully, 2, working your bees on sunny days, particularly when there is a honey flow, and 3, using your smoker effectively. Readers should know that bee supply houses sell white coveralls which are practically sting-proof, and I recommend them highly for the beginner. I wear them myself when I have any job which will take a long time. For after a time, even the best bees may become irritated. Also, if I must work with my bees on cloudy days or in the evening, I wear my armor. At other times, depending on the job to be done, the temper of the bees and the weather, I may wear shorts with neither veil nor gloves, or perhaps ordinary clothing with a veil but no gloves. You can do almost anything with bees without getting stung if you work calmly on warm sunny days when the bees are busy bringing in the nectar. The same bees, if worked late in the evening or on a cold, cloudy day, can make life miserable for an amateur beekeeper. On such occasions, when it is obvious that the bees resent your intrusion, discretion is the better part of valor. If the work can be delayed, it usually can at least for a day or 2, quietly close up the hive and come back when the bees are happier. Using a smoker correctly is a real art. Practice plus watching other beekeepers is the only way to learn. On the subject of learning from other beekeepers, join a beekeepers association if you possibly can. Besides meeting interesting fellow beekeepers, you will learn a great deal about such practical procedures as the proper use of a smoker. In my own case, I was fortunate in having the Lehigh County Beekeepers Association in my area. I have learned a great deal from attending these meetings and from watching and listening to W. Clark, Jr., the Extension apiarist from Pennsylvania State University, as he examines and discusses the bees of the various members. Incidentally, many women keep bees. In my own beekeepers organization, half a dozen of the most enthusiastic members are ladies of all ages from high school up, who have from 1 to perhaps a dozen hives. Having decided to take the plunge, here's what to do. Call your local county agricultural agent and ask him what the best date is for having packaged bees delivered in your area. The optimum date varies with the locality. Don't rush the season or you will complicate your problems. On the other hand, don't wait too long or your bees won't have time to build up for the honey flow. Order your bees 2 or 3 months in advance if possible. Meanwhile, get your beginner's kit, which includes the hive bodies, hive tool, smoker, bee veil, etc. The hive bodies come unassembled, but they are not difficult to put together. Give them 2 or 3 coats of good paint on the outside only. It is best to get 2 hives, 2 packages of bees, and 2 queens. Then if anything happens to one of your queens, you can combine the 2 stands of bees, and you're still in the bee business. You can fill the empty hive with a swarm or by division of your existing hive or by ordering another package. If you have only 1 hive and something happens to your queen, your bees probably will be hopelessly queenless by the time you can get another queen. That is, they won't accept the new queen. In a case of this kind, with only 1 hive, you'll have to start over, and as it will be late, you will have lost 1 whole season. Some writers recommend buying a stand of bees from an established beekeeper, but I think it is better to start with a package and a beginner's outfit. In this way, you know every nail in your hive and practically every bee personally. Also, packaged bees are a lot easier to care for without getting stung, perhaps because there just aren't so many bees to contend with. Also, by getting a package and a beginner's outfit, you don't run the risk of diseased bees or the inconvenience of trying to learn with worn-out equipment. Of the 3 types of bees commonly kept in the United States, I recommend the Golden Italians. They are good producers, disease-resistant, and reasonably gentle. They are also, in my opinion, the most beautiful of all bees. My main reason for thinking they are the best bet, however, is because most of the bees kept in your neighborhood will be Italians. Hence, you stand less chance of getting a vicious crossbreed of bees from a random mating of your young queens than you do if you have the Caucasian or Carniolan breeds for much the same reason. I think it is a mistake for a hobbyist beekeeper to buy the recently fashionable hybrid queens. Where do you get the bees and equipment? Subscribe to at least 1 magazine from Organic Gardening. You can hive your bees successfully when they come just by following the instructions that come with them. However, if you're really interested in beekeeping, my advice is to buy a book or 2 on bees. Once you have your bees, many questions will come up, and most of these questions are answered by the 2 standard books in the field, the ABC and XYZ of bee culture, and the Hive and Honey Bee. Oh, 1 more page. Such books are real gold mines of information for the beekeeper and are very reasonably priced for their size and contents. I read the above books from cover to cover during the winter prior to getting my first package of bees, and I suggest that you do the same. You will then know where to find the answers to your questions when they arise. A few dollars spent for books and a few hours spent reading them may mean the difference between success and failure in your beekeeping venture. Certainly, a broad general knowledge of bees and beekeeping lore will add tremendously to your enjoyment of your new hobby. The agricultural college in your state may have put out a bulletin on beekeeping. If so, it will deal with the conditions you will encounter in your own locality. Your county agent should be able to tell you if such a bulletin is available in your state. If you have children, beekeeping can provide an interesting and useful hobby for them. Beekeeping gives your child a chance to see and understand other living things, an opportunity that is rapidly vanishing for most children in our mechanized and suburbanized society. Of my own 4 children, 2 help me with the bees and definitely enjoy it. One is just as definitely not interested, and one hasn't made up his mind yet, possibly because he is only 11 months old. The honey you take from your own hives will be 100 times more flavorful than what you would pick up on the supermarket shelves. This is not only because it is flavored by the sweat of your brow and spiced with the stings you didn't quite escape. It is also because as a small producer you will not find it necessary to heat your honey or blend it with honey of a less desirable quality or strain it unduly. However, the honey you get is only one of the rewards of this hobby. Bees are among the more fascinating creatures in the world, and reading the 2 books mentioned above and others later on will mean a lot more than just learning how to supply your family with honey. They will give you something to think about besides TV westerns, the atom bomb, and the Cold War. Beekeeping will give you many wonderful spring and summer days in the sunshine, relaxing and pondering upon the fascinating universe you see in the hive. Possibly, too, you will have time to reflect on the fact that in some localities the cutting of the basswood and sourwood trees, or the sprays used by the alfalfa growers, or the weed killer sprays spewed about so plentifully by highway and railroad maintenance crews, is making it increasingly difficult for bees to thrive under conditions of our chemicalized civilization. Perhaps as you work there in the sun, you will be the one to find an answer. It is not without reason that for centuries beekeepers have enjoyed a reputation for being philosophers as well as for living long and healthful lives. Well, that's the end of that. Now, in the Organic Gardening magazine, there are, in the classified sections, there are a lot of listings for bee magazines and bee books and buying your bees and everything like that. So either subscribe or at least buy one sample copy of Organic Gardening from your newsstand. Okay, now, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Now, you can send in $1 for the catalog, which describes all of my books and tapes, and even books put out by Rodale and Garden Way and so on like that. Or you can send in $100 for my special offer, good only until December 15th, which includes volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of The Survivor, which is 1,864 pages, except for a few pages of index, but thousands of recipes, formulas, processes, trades, crafts, hobbies, home businesses, cottage industries. Fascinating study. It's something great for homeschooling, especially because the kids love the entries in that. And then, of course, for personal defense is the Poor Man's James Bond, giving you a complete lessons in arming yourself from the hardware store and the grocery store and having a lot of fun studying it, too. And then there is the subscription to Shoestring Entrepreneur, How to Sell Anything You Can Make or Grow, plus several back issues of the Survivor periodical. And then there's the U.S. Militia, starting off with 4 issues. They're large magazines, no paid ads, and you get the other 8 as they come out. And if you should buy these things piecemeal, they would cost you about $165. But this way, for $100, you're saving about half. Yes, it will, because after the 1st, well, the offer won't be good after the 1st. But after the 1st of January, because of the higher prices of paper, postage, everything like that, my books are going up to $18. No, I mean up to $20 a piece instead of $18. Oh, also, this with these 2 subscriptions will give you all of the rest of my books at 10% off, plus, of course, my tapes, which I haven't talked too much about, but they're 60-minute color videotapes, improvised weaponry, survival foods, all kinds of fun. Here's our first caller. Hello, Kurt here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Ralph from St. Augustine.
Hi, Ralph.
I don't really have too much to say. I thought I'd call you up and wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, we already had that.
Oh, that's good. I hope it was happy for you.
Well, I hope yours is happy, too.
It's going good. I wanted to bid you a fond adieu temporarily.
Yeah.
And I thought, with your permission, of course, I could give out the number of WWCR so that your listeners can call periodically to find out where the heck you're at.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I have it's 1.
Okay, sorry, I was telling Carrie to go up and get my something.
Okay, that's fine. 1-615-255-1300.
Okay, give it again, in case people didn't have their pencil ready yet.
Okay, that's 1-615-255-1300.
Well, that's fine if people are interested. Well, like Adam Locke told me, he expected it to get in a couple of weeks, in which case I was going to just hang in there. But then a few days ago he told me that they had everything filed, but now he figures that it might be a couple of months. So I wasn't going to stay on then because there's just not enough people can hear me in this frequency. I don't want people to think I'm getting off the radio. I'm not. I'm simply getting off this frequency.
Right.
But I've got to go on another frequency. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow night is my last night.
You will be sorely missed. You are a, how shall I put this? You are a breath of fresh air to shortwave because you have extremists on so many ends.
Yes, I guess I do.
And
but they're welcome to their message.
Well,
They'll pay for the time.
It's just that, you know, you had your place too, and we'll be glad when you come back.
Yes, well, I appreciate your call. You call again.
Will do.
Okay, buddy. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Oh, incidentally, now one of my callers called in yesterday when I was out, and he says he has a son on the USS Nassau who listens to me, and I am supposed to say hi there to that son on the USS Nassau. So hi there, son on the USS Nassau. I hope you have a good time, and wherever you're going, I hope you're very successful and you return home safely. Okay, bye, USS Nassau. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. You gonna be going off the air permanently? Or?
No, just hopefully just a few weeks until they can get that other frequency in there, which is on a lower band. It'll be easier for people to hear.
Will it be on WCR or?
Well, yeah, it's on the same station, but on a different transmitter.
Okay, you're gonna be going to a different output and everything, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I like WWCR because they are good people and they certainly do their best. I don't blame them for anything.
Okay, yeah, no, it's not their fault. You got propagation and all that problems.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay. So I was wondering, how do you feel about the KKK?
Well, I tell you, I used to have a lot of friends in the KKK. I consider Tom Robb sort of a friend. I think I like him better than he likes me. Yeah, I disagree with him for a lot of things, and he's the kind of guy that he won't agree to disagree. I mean, you agree with him all the way down the line, or else you're some kind of enemy. I don't think that way.
Yeah, have you heard of Daniel Carver?
Dana Carver?
Daniel Carver.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's like, wake up, white people.
Yeah? Well, see, when I was a stormtrooper and ran around with the Minutemen and everything like that, I could have joined the Klan, but for a man who likes to dress well, you just can't get those robes to drape properly.
Depends what you're wearing underneath.
Well, I guess so. But if you got the robes, you can't show your outfit, really. Besides, they didn't encourage...
You're worrying about the drape, then.
Well,
yeah.
Well, the Klan didn't take kindly to wearing the white robes over the swastika. And so, well, no, I got along with them well, and I partied with them well. They were a great bunch of drinking buddies.
Oh, yeah, they'll love to catch a buzz.
Yeah?
You know that for sure.
Wait, I missed that?
They love to catch a buzz, an alcohol buzz.
Oh, yeah, they all do. I was a borderline alcoholic myself, so I know how it was. We had a lot of parties. We never accomplished anything. But it was fun. I mean, if that's if you need a group like that to join for laughs, there's a lot of laughs to it. And it's a good therapy group, too, because I found with the Nazis and the Minutemen, you could sit around and you could say anything came into your head, and unlike the mainstream people, it was impossible to shock.
Yeah.
So you had a freedom of expression with those guys that you couldn't get anywhere else. And so I got to the point where nothing they said could shock me, and vice versa, and we got along, and we said the most outrageous things. Of course, there was always a spy among us, so we never carried out any of the plots we hatched.
Yeah, but basically you're not really a racist person then.
Oh, not really, no. I mean,
towards the criminals, basically.
Come again?
Just basically towards the criminals?
Yes, well, my motto is sterilize the parasites and kill the predators. And I don't care what color it is. I figure that when the collapse comes, the cream is going to rise to the top, so why should I focus on any ethnic group? It doesn't pay, it doesn't do any good.
Yeah, but 3/4 of the criminals are black.
Well, that's part of their culture.
Yeah, you look at OJ, he's going to get off.
Well, I hope not. If
three-quarters, he's got that defense team. He's going to, basically he's going to probably get off.
Well, you see, this race thing is more a matter of culture than race. The blacks that were bought as slaves in Africa were not selected for their intelligence. They were selected for their physical endurance.
Oh yeah. A black man kicked the shit out of a white man any day.
Possibly so, but watch your language. We're on radio.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
But no, he could be, basically I think they're stronger. Maybe.
Well, maybe.
Headed toward,
Well, if you took,
I don't know, but
if you took the scholarly whites and set them off to the side and just take the muscle-bound types and have them as slaves for several generations, you'd have some slack-jawed boobs to contend with. And if
you may be right, because there's more black people, and most of the time you see them, all the little wimpy ones stay home probably.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones who go to school. You see, here's the
problem.
Lawyers
and doctors, which they should become.
Yeah. Well, you heard of the bell curve, haven't you?
Yeah. No, actually, I've got some of your publications.
Well, now see, they're calling this guy a racist, and I've heard him several times on TV, and he doesn't really address the problem.
Yeah.
Race isn't the issue; it's cultural. Now, here's the difference: a white woman 50 years ago chose a mate, someone who would take care of her and their children. Unfortunately now, white women don't have those standards, but you see, the blacks, with their culture of total dependency, they rather than choose mates for commitment, they chose sex partners. So a black woman who chooses a sex partner isn't choosing for commitment and success the way your grandmother did. See, so that they have 8, 10 kids by 8 or 10 different guys, and you can't expect any high IQs to come out of that. And of course, IQ or environment, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. A jerk is going to raise a jerk.
No, of course. Most of these people, most of these black fellows have children, and they have their grandmothers raise them.
That's right. So if my program were followed, if all of the parasites were sterilized, well, that might knock off 80% of the blacks genetically, but what was left within a generation, there could be no racism, because what we hate about the blacks, the criminals types mainly, wouldn't exist.
It's going to clean up our system, too.
Well, of course, we got to clean up the white race, too. Because
no, I'm not saying, we got white criminals, too,
Yeah, well, you
look at that, what was his name? That Bundy guy.
Yeah, well,
so
sure.
He was just sick in the head anyway.
That's right. But see, with a proper culture, which we've got to get back to, then people like that would be weeded out before puberty.
One last question. What do you think about that senator making those remarks to Governor Clinton about if he comes down south, he better need a bodyguard?
Well, I don't think that Clinton needs a bodyguard. Jesse Helms, he's something like me. He says what he thinks. He's not politically correct, and neither am I. But I think we need people who say what they think. Yeah. And although I despise Jesse Helms for other issues, at least we need politicians who say what they think, rather than this bunch of geese Democrat and Republic who say only what the electorate want them to say so they can get in office next time.
Do you think that might have hurt his career? Or?
I doubt it. He's a Southern, it'll probably, because the only people who vote for him are the people who like him and the way he talks. See, so that's his market in a sense.
Yeah.
So I approve of what he says. I don't agree with it. I mean, Clinton isn't going to need a bodyguard.
No, everywhere he goes, he's got a bodyguard.
Yes, he's got a bodyguard, and they're watching the crowds and everything like that.
Now, basically, 10 years from now, he's going to have the Secret Service going to be.
Oh, I don't think so. No, our system doesn't have 10 years.
Bush, Reagan has people around him right now.
Well, he shouldn't. I wouldn't guard him. He ought to be put to sleep. He should have been put to sleep the day before he got elected.
Oh, Reagan. I guess you don't like him, huh?
No, I don't.
No.
I lived in California all the time that lying varmint was governor.
So
I lived in Arkansas all the time that Clinton was governor. So you watch a guy who's governor year after year, and he gets to be president, and it's astonishing.
So who do you think? You think Ross Perot would have been a better?
Oh no, Ross Perot is an idiot.
He's an
There's
idiot.
nobody of the caliber. You would have to have a combination Hitler, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, and Stalin, and me to get things straightened out, and you're not going to get it.
So basically, what do you consider yourself, a Republican or Democrat or
not at all. No, I despise politics and politicians.
Maybe like a Libertarian Party or?
No, the Libertarians are a bunch of wimps.
Yeah.
I'm a peasant anarchist.
You're
a peasant anarchist. See, that's a feudal type, a person who wants nothing to do with government. We obey rules, sure, but we don't want rules imposed on us that are going to keep us...
think about without government, how are you going to have rules?
Well, local government that knows the issues facing the individual and acts accordingly. I don't care for central authority. See? Okay, look, buddy, you call again.
Yeah, I haven't been on the line. I let somebody else come through. You have a good Thanksgiving, Kurt.
You too, buddy.
I enjoy listening to you, and sorry tomorrow you're tonight, but I'm sure you'll be on another month.
Yeah, I'll be on in a few weeks.
Okay.
Okay, buddy, bye-bye. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And remember, don't call this to make an order, this 2963 number. Call 501-437-2999, 2999. That gives you the office. Hello, Kurt here.
Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Bob from Lansdale.
Hi, Bob.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going all right.
Good, good. I just called to say I'm sorry to hear you're going off the air there for a little while.
Well, it'll be a rest.
Listen to your program, or try to listen to it just about every night. Usually get you pretty good up here.
Yeah, well, that's it. I come through pretty good in the Northeast, but I'm hardly hitting Texas or Louisiana, and that's a big part of my audience. It's like putting a full page in a magazine with it that says 100,000 circulation, and it turns out that they're only delivering 20,000 to the reader, and it doesn't matter whether it's the station's fault or whatever. It's not working for me because not enough people can hear me. I've heard them night after night saying, "I can't hear you. Are you on the air?" And so it's just not cost effective, because there's plenty of people out there who would like to buy what I have to offer, and if I don't sell, I don't stay on the air. And I'm into the station for quite a bit of money as it is, and they've been real easy on me. And I will pay them, of course, but it's just, I'm just going deeper in the hole on this frequency, and that's a fact.
Sure. Well, how are we going to find out when you do get on another frequency?
Well, you'll have to call the station, and if you listen to other programs on... Send you a self-addressed postcard. Oh, that's right. Hey, that's a good idea. Carrie reminded me.
Okay.
Send a self-addressed postcard, and with your, self-addressed postcard, and then when I learn when I'm going to be on, I will mail it back to you, because it just takes me a second or two to to write down the date and the time, and I'll put it right in the mail, and you'll learn.
Great, super. Well, I just called to say, check in with you, see how you're doing, and tell you that sorry to hear you're going off the air for a while there. Really enjoy your skills-oriented approach to survival as opposed to the products-oriented stuff that gets sold to the general public these days.
Yeah, well, they put out a lot of trash, but I try not to. And who knows, I might get on the next frequency, and I might even get a sponsor, as long as they want me to sell something that I don't disapprove of. I don't care if you want to buy Snapple or stockings or things like that, but I would not promote something that like commercial survival foods and things that are just frauds.
Sure.
No, it's got to be something that someone can use, or something that if they just use it up and enjoy it, so what? I'd put on a beer commercial, but not something that is a waste of someone's money. If you can enjoy it, or if you can use it, fine. But like this survival food, you pay 3 times what it's worth, you store it away, you never eat it. You'd be best to put that money into something that you can use right now, or food that you can eat right now.
Well, I agree with that. I'm a skills-oriented person myself, because products and stuff, great to have, good for comfort, but if you're relying on them, they can be taken away, you can lose them, they can break.
That's right. But you see, you made a point that I would sort of argue with. You buy something that gives you a sense of security. Now, it's okay to buy a pistol to keep by your bed to keep as a sense of security. But when you buy dozens of guns and bury them, now that, if you get a sense of security out of that, then you got to get your head read.
Sure. Well, I own a couple guns, and I'm trying to learn how to repair them and kind of keep them in working order.
That's good. That's good. You can't shoot more than one gun at a time.
Right. Well, I shoot for pleasure most. Yeah. A couple that I have.
And I would suggest that instead of joining these crazy militia units running around in the woods, that a person should take his rifle, not a rapid fire weapon, but a real rifle, and go to a shooting range where you've got an instructor, you can learn how to do it, and there's people even there who will make pointers to you.
Sure.
And that way you don't need to spend a lot of money on camouflage clothes or a lot of running around the woods equipment that you're never going to use. Let your Boy Scout son take care of that end of it. Okay, buddy?
Okie doke. You take care,
again.
and I'm looking forward to hearing you when you get back.
Okay, you send me that self-addressed that self-addressed postcard, and I'll let you know when I'm going to be back and where.
Okie doke.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And like I've been saying, send in $1 for the catalog. It describes all of my materials. And when you get it, make your order and knock off $1 from the price, and that makes it free. Hello, Kurt here.
Hi, Kurt. I was just talking to you earlier, and everybody's wondering about what frequency. You might want to contact monitoring times when you do get back on the air. And I know most people who are into shortwave do get monitoring times, and they may be able to see you in there, and I'm sure they'll list it for free.
Well, they might list it for free, but I think it's for the individual who's concerned. I think that he should send this self-addressed postcard, preferably with an order, and then that way everybody will know as soon as I know.
Okay, yeah, you do it that way.
Monitoring times, yes, if you're a shortwave radio buff, that's a very good thing to
you might want to consider that, because
does it tell news about shortwave radio and what's happening in the field?
The monitoring times is they have a whole spectrum, what's on every night and what's on every frequency.
Well, that's good.
And maybe I'm sure WWCR knows all about monitoring times.
Yes.
It's out of I'm not even sure where it's out of. I've been getting it for the last 9 years. And
well, I guess they can check at their nearest newsstand.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised at the amount more listeners you may get from it.
Possibly so.
Okay, it was nice talking to you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. That's for the radio only. The office number is 501-437-2999. And let me describe my $100 offer. For $100, you get 17 pounds of useful, practical material that you can start doing today. And it's the first 4 volumes of The Survivor, U.S. Militia, Poor Man's James Bond, and Shoestring Entrepreneur. $100. UPS included. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, Kurt.
Yes.
This is Ernie. I just want to let you know you're booming in on 4375.
Yes.
It's absolutely perfect. 60 over S9, so you can't get any better than that. And I think you'll be very disappointed when you move to a lower frequency.
Well, I'm sorry.
Because they're much worse here.
Well, I'm sorry, Ernie, and I know you people in Canada can get it up there, and I would hate to lose you, but I bet you can get it in.
Yeah, but I don't really know why you want to change your...
Well, because, look, Ernie, the fact that the people way up north and the northeast of the United States can get me, that isn't what I have to have. I want to get Louisiana and Texas, and that's what I'm losing on this frequency.
Yeah, I understand that, but did Adam ever tell you that they don't actually broadcast to Louisiana and Texas? You know, their transmitters are directed to Europe and Africa. Did you know that?
Well, the higher frequencies go out further. The lower frequencies are more local in the United States.
Yeah, but actually they're not supposed to broadcast to the United States. They're broadcasting overseas.
Well, regardless, Ernie, the thing is, they put out the airwaves there, and whoever can pick them up picks them up. Now, my market is not in Europe. I got a lot of customers in Canada, and I certainly appreciate them because I've been there, and you're a fine bunch of people. But my main market is in the United States. And this frequency is cutting me off from that market.
Well, I understand that, but as I said, it's perfect up here, no problem at all.
Well, I just hope that when I come back on, you can hear it just as well, and you may, sort of. Take heart, Ernie.
And
I'm there
Kurt,
for you. I feel your pain.
Well, Kurt, you know, I really didn't want to waste a phone call on your show, but I wanted to give you a chance to get back at me for if you think I wasn't fair in what I said the other day in my letter.
Oh, that's all. Ernie, I love you. See, I mean, when you come on my station or you send me a letter, you're a guest in my home, and you've got total freedom of speech, and whatever your opinion is, I honor it. And at least I answer you point by point. I don't say, hey, this guy doesn't agree with me, that means he's a nut. You're not a nut. You just have a different perspective on things.
Well, you know, you upset me sometimes with your conspiracy theories. You know, you're the only one talking about conspiracies. I've never heard Bill Cooper or Linda Thompson or any of them even use the word conspiracy.
They don't
You're
have
the one
to.
who is talking about it.
They don't have to.
And I've never heard them ask for money either.
Well,
I mean, you say they're shearing the sheep, but you know, sometimes I think you're shearing the sheep. You're the one who is asking for $100.
Do you have any of my material?
No, I don't. And,
well, you see, Ernie, if you had my material, regardless of what you think of me, you would love the material.
Well, I think I'd rather put it into gold.
Well, okay, for a quarter ounce of gold compared to the packet of useful information I have, I don't see a comparison. But if you do, Ernie, you go that way.
Well, I've traded in gold before, and I have done pretty well.
Well, I'm glad, but you see, you sound like an older man, and I think the volumes of The Survivor would really fascinate you. It'd take you back to your boyhood.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, I love you, Ernie, and you just hang in there, and I just hope you can hear me on my next frequency. I wouldn't want to lose you.
Okay, bye for now.
Okay, bye for now. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Yes, my $100 offer is quite a bit of money, but you're getting if you had a quarter ounce of gold, you couldn't get anything near like mine for your quarter ounce of gold. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, Kurt.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is John. I'm calling from Akron, Ohio.
Yes, John.
And I just finished reading a novel recently called The Turner Diaries, and I was wondering, how would you, do you see that as a possible thing in the future for this country?
No, I read the Turner Diaries. It is a fun book, and everyone should get it. It is, and then let's see, the next book that came out was really no good. It's like the sequel to movies, you know, like you see the Poltergeist is fantastic and Poltergeist 2 is garbage. I didn't think the next book, I forget the title of it. The which? Hunter. Oh, Hunter. The next book was very poor, but he didn't go deep enough into improvised weaponry, and he painted a scenario which is not possible because, for one thing, okay, he has the Jews taking over. That's maybe a pleasant fantasy for certain people, even maybe some Jews. But he seemed to think that he could get an underground group could function against them, and it might be fun to fantasize, but what we've got now could not function against anybody, because you hear all this stuff about the militia units around the country. They don't stay in the cities with printing presses and making improvised weapons and things like that to fight an enemy that would take over the cities. No, what they do is they run around in the woods. Anyone who, let's just say that, just for a hypothetical thing, that some group of sinister people should manipulate things so they could take over the country. Okay, they would take over the cities because that's where the action is. They wouldn't care about the people running around in the woods. They would probably say, well, bless their hearts, that's where they belong. They're no trouble to us in the woods. And you read these articles and you see the pictures above them, these poor middle-aged people going out there and getting skinned up and tired and getting tigers and chicks. No, I do that all the time. It's chiggers and ticks. Yes, I live in Arkansas. I certainly know. I never go out in the woods. Boy, you could not drag me out in the woods. I will stage my fight in downtown Alpena, which doesn't even have a police station, rather than go out in the woods, because I know what tigers and chicks... chicks and tigers.
Yes.
No.
Whoever controls the cities controls the country.
Well, if you want to put it that way, but I don't see how. It's never been done. When the cities burn, no one's going to control the cities. I've seen certain people try to control the cities. I was in Long Beach, California, the first Los Angeles riot, and they just surrounded the area and let it burn because the police and the National Guard weren't going to go in there until it burned itself out. And that's the way they acted in the second one. No, when the chaos comes, John, they're not going to do anything about it because they can't. Riotous people, burning buildings, firemen getting shot, policemen not wanting to get shot. The only people who are doing a good job there were some Koreans, but we don't have any Korean. Well, the Koreans, I don't think they're going to invest in Watts again. But you see, I'm 62 years old. I've been around a lot. I grew up in New York and Chicago. I know what cities are like. I wouldn't have a city if you gave it to me. I wouldn't want to control one because you can't. But when this welfare bubble bursts and the checks stop coming, then the cities all over the country are going to burn, and I don't think there is any agency, government or foreign, that could keep a lid on that, or even, it's like Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall. That's it, buddy. And then it's up to us in the hinterlands, the rural types, who are going to pick up the pieces after the cities have just burned themselves out. But these people running around in the woods practicing now like Boy Scouts, it doesn't do any good. The Turner Diaries was very instructive if they could get it going, but most of the people who fantasize on that line are too neurotic and unstable to be effective against any enemy. I used to run with them. Like I said before, I was a Berkshire, a Minuteman, and a Nazi stormtrooper. I went all the way, and I loved being with those guys. But most of them were borderline psychotics, and every single one of them was at least highly neurotic. And you couldn't get them together to do anything. Like we would make an attack on some leftist group, tear up their flags, beat them up, send them to hospitals, and then the idea was to go back and hit them again, but the guys wouldn't do it. They wanted to drink and brag about what they did for a couple of months, and they never got anything going, really. So although I had a lot of fun with them, and incidentally, if you subscribe to U.S. Militia and read Wheels of Rage about the Iron Cross Motorcycle Club, those were all ex-stormtroopers, and a psychologist read the book, and he said that was the best study of a subculture he had ever read. But the thing is, I was with those guys, and I could understand them. I used to work in a nut house too, see, so running around with those guys was like being on duty 24 hours a day. So I understood them, and you cannot use this type of people for any effective, concerted action. So these so-called militia people, being on constant red alert, all they do is they get into a state of nervous exhaustion. They finally go home, and if they had my book on tire gardening, they would do better at it.
What do you think started this militia craze?
Well, people's anxieties. See, I put out a publication called U.S. Militia, since I was with all of these militia-type groups, and I outlined a way that it would work, because I learned what not to do. But these people with their camouflage uniforms running around in the woods, accomplishing nothing, making fools of themselves, are just doing it exactly wrong in a way. See, they're not, instead of running around in the woods, they should establish a militia unit in their town, forget the camouflage clothes, forget any kind of identification, and use their guns to clean up their neighborhood of the vermin that are coming in and robbing, raping, maiming, and killing. They don't do that, though. See, what U.S. militia is for that purpose. But these militiamen, instead of doing anything against the criminal element, which is a danger to our system, they have to run around in the woods. Now, how many people who rob, rape, maim, and kill are bothered by any number of citizen types who run out into the woods?
Probably none.
Okay, well, that's all they're doing. And the government isn't interested in them, not a bit. It's like I've said, I just quote myself. Any government official who knew about them, if they took notice at all, would say, well, let them alone. They're where they belong. They're out in the woods.
Okay, well, yeah, I agree with you very much, Kurt, and I'll just say keep up the good work.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, buddy, bye for now. Okay, time for our last caller here. The phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. So again, my my offer is good until December 15th. And you might also consider my offer of the Instant Who's Who in the Bible, the best thing ever to come out since the Concordance, only $10 until that time. It's great for gifts. Give it to your preacher. Hello, Kurt here.
Yeah, how you doing, Kurt? Good evening.
Doing fine.
Yeah, this is Charlie down in South Texas.
Hi, Charlie.
I just wanted to say, gee, I'm sorry that we're not going to have you on shortwave here for a while.
Well, that's just for a while.
Well, you know, I don't think you can find a better frequency, Kurt, especially with the propagation conditions or the way they are. Geez, that station always runs 30 or 40 dB over S9 down here in South Texas.
Well, okay, so you can hear it. Most of the people in Texas can't. I don't understand that. But you see, if the propagation is such that I can't be heard by enough people who want to hear me, then I'm wasting my time.
Well, you know, you're not going to find another station that does it any better right now, Kurt.
Well, I have to differ with you, Charlie, because during the commercial, we'll turn it on to the lower frequency,
5.065.
Yeah, and it comes in very clear.
Yeah.
So there you go.
during the wintertime, but in the summertime, all you're going to get static there.
Well, I'm
Kurt.
talking about now, but you see, I can't talk all winter paying $155 a night when hardly any people are hearing me, just so that I can come in the summer.
Well, I guess that's right.
It's economics. See, I'm not asking for contributions. I don't have any backers. I got 2 advertisers, which one pays me $10 a night, another pays me $15 a night.
You're getting rich, aren't you, Kurt?
Well, I'm not paying for nothing. You see, I pay Carrie $10 a night, and I pay the phone company $10, and it costs $135 to the station.
Yes.
See, so if I'm not hardly getting any orders, it's just because very few people can hear me.
Yeah. Well, I guess that fella up in Canada a while ago probably thinks you're carrying it home in a wheelbarrow, you know. But
well, I guess he is, and I hope he's carrying it home in the wheelbarrow.
But you know, he said that you were the only one that asked for contributions. But geez, you know,
I don't ask for contributions.
He said that
the others don't ask.
I think of a dozen other talk shows, Kurt, that every 5-minute break, I mean, please send $150 for our 250-page book. It's going to be history, you know.
Yeah. Well, you see, Ernie is a lovable guy. He's got a lot of opinions, which he's entitled to, but I think the problem with him concerning the radio, and maybe there's something about me that rubs him the wrong way.
Hey, Kurt, you rub me the wrong way a lot of times. Yeah. There are times when I'd like to grab you and strangle the life out of you.
Well, that's why I'm in Alpena and not in Texas.
Well, no, I mean, there's no one that everybody's going to get along with all the time.
Well,
I never have met anybody that I agreed with 100% of the time.
Well, if you do, you better just break that mirror.
Well, if I ever run into them, Kurt, I'll drop you a card and let you know what happens.
Okay, you do that, Charlie.
And I just wanted to tell you, we're going to miss you. And I like your new format. I don't think we need too many ballistic breaks anymore.
What do you mean?
But anyway, good luck to you, Kurt.
Well, hang on there for a couple of minutes. Oh, well, okay, well, we got 3 minutes. And if you want to sign off, we do have time for another caller.
Well, my clock must be running a little fast. Looked like you had about 30 seconds to go.
Yeah. Well,
I'll spend the time with you here.
Okay, come up with a topic and we'll chew on it.
Well, let's talk about all this gold and stuff that Ernie was talking about a while ago, Kurt.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't ever really been hard up.
Yeah.
In a country or a place where money gets almost non-existent, or jobs are non-existent, or times get really hard.
Yeah.
And these people that buy gold and put this back, if everybody's broke, Kurt, who in the cat hair is going to buy your gold? What's it worth,
Yeah, well, what I liked was the example from that fellow that called in several nights ago. He said that he was on the road, he had forgot his checkbook, and he had very little cash, but he did have a Krugerrand, probably for a luck piece, and he thought, well, fine, I'm in good shape. So he takes it to the bank, and they're not at all interested.
That's right.
He took it to another bank, and they weren't interested, and then he took it to the gold place where they sell gold, and they said, well, we'll take it, but we can't give you anything for it for a couple of weeks. I guess they had to check it out. Now, if he had taken that to a grocery store, they wouldn't have handled it.
Well, he might have, a slingshot would probably have been a better thing to have in your hip pocket, Kurt, because, at least you could have found a rock on the side of the road and shot a jackrabbit and roasted him.
Possibly so.
I figure if times get real tough here, that a thing like a good double bit axe or a wood saw or a skill saw or maybe a good set of tools is going to be worth a lot more than all the Krugerrands you can carry around.
Well, my point is, and you seem to agree with me, that if you've got enough money to buy gold, if you're a multimillionaire, okay, I can understand it. But if you're just a common person, and you got a little money to put by, it would be best to buy equipment of one sort or another, or buy my books which tell you how to do things on a day-to-day basis. You see, the reason I made that offer was because I was pondering the relative value of gold, and okay, $400 an ounce, it's gone down now. It's gone down considerably in the last few weeks. but say gold was $400 an ounce, and 1/4 ounce of gold, $100, you can't compare the value between that 1/4 ounce of gold and all of this material I'd be sending you for that offer.
Well, let me put it another way, Kurt, which I do agree with you, by the way, you know, on the actual value of gold. If you were shipwrecked on this island out in the middle of the Pacific, and the ship itself washed up on shore with you, and it had 20 cases of gold in the hold of it.
Yeah.
And all 20 cases of that gold were washed up on the shore, high and dry, and all you had to do was go over there and get it. I'll guarantee you, after about 3 days, you'd trade the whole mess for a cold Coke.
I'm sure you would. Okay, we got to go.
Okay, we'll see you now, and good luck, buddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Now it's sign-off time. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So this is Kurt Saxon saying goodbye and be good.